In this America, millions of people experience every day the opportunity of having life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in all of their dimensions. And in this America, millions of young people grow up in the sunlight of opportunity. But tragically and unfortunately, there is another America. This is an excerpt from Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech titled "The Other America." Martin Luther King used this speech to highlight the often overlooked double-sidedness of our nation. A phrase we often hear used is the American dream. In the great America, anyone can be who they want to be, in the free land of the people, they exclaim. And while that may be true for some, we need to recognize, as Martin Luther King brought up, the idea of this other America. The other America is the overlooked and the impoverished. On any given night, there are about 500,000 to 600,000 people living homeless in the United States, with about 1/3 sleeping on the streets and the rest in shelters. Around 40% of these people are Black. A study done in 2017 noted that 22% of all Black Americans live in poverty, while their white counterparts have a percentage of 8%. If this is the land of the free, home of equality, why is it that when we inquire, we see that the odds are skewed against the minority? We need to recognize that something is not right. Instead of placing a profitless Band-Aid on top of our past in order to spare white Americans offense. If you are offended by talking about racism, you need to recognize you are a part of the problem. And instead of putting your effort into discarding America's past, use it to protect the future. It's easy to say that things have gotten better, and I will not argue with that. We have made improvements, but we must not use this as an excuse to ignore the oppression that still occurs daily. The time is right to make a change, and we must not slow our stride. In 2020, a big issue that was addressed was police brutality, and it felt like something was shifting. People were paying attention and calling out the actions of those sworn to protect. Historically, it is no shock that this faced major backlash as well. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Though this should not discourage us. This is not the America I want to live in. As a white woman, I address my privilege, and I will try to do what I can to correct it, and I implore others to do the same, while recognizing how systemic racism plays into this privilege. If you insist that nothing is wrong, you are blinded. We must do something. We must do something now without hesitation. Something is wrong, and that is all the more reason that the time is right. Thank you.